सबसे बड़ी खबर आपको बता दें, मार्केट रेगुलेटर सेबी ने आज बोर्ड बैठक में कई बड़े फैसले किए हैं। सेबी ने बड़ी कंपनियों के आईपीओ नियम आसान किए हैं। सेबी ने बड़े आईपीओ में मिनिमम शेयर होल्डिंग नियम में छूट दे दी है।
There are two share thresholds. Post issue market cap, one is 4,000 crore to 1 lakh crore. So there's no change before that. The post issue market caps, less than 4,000 crore remain as it is. But we are creating 4 more thresholds after the 4,000 crore. 4,000 crore to 50,000 crore, 50,000 crore to 1 lakh crore, 1 lakh crore to 5 lakh crore, and more than 5 lakh crore.
चलिए अब सीधा आपको लेकर चलते हैं सेबी की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में।
One-to-one communication, not as an advertisement. You can share with the client certified your performance, certified by CA or cost accountant, and this relaxation is only 2 years. It doesn't mean that it is going to be operationalized after 2 years. It will be operationalized very soon. But after 2 years, this relaxation will go away.
Sir, on minimum public offer norms, you mentioned that government approval will be needed. Will it be executive or does it need to go to parliament?
Typically, whenever the rules are made, they are approved by the minister and then placed in the parliament. And in the parliament, they have to be there in a certain number of days, much like our regulations also. So the rules means that the parliament has given the powers to the government to frame the rules, and then they have to be placed in the parliament, so that if there is anyone has an objection, that can be taken on board. So it will follow the same process.
Also, is there any change between discussion paper and what has come right now? I can see more categories, but it is more of a no change kind of a scenario. So if you can specify, is there any deviation which has been there from discussion?
No, there is no change. There is no change. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
I think that we had people largely welcomed it, so we didn't have to change it.
Good evening to everyone on the board. Sir, a couple of questions. One with respect
Sir, please mention your name.
My name is Yash Jain. I am from CNBC TV 18. Just a couple of questions, sir. You made certain changes, of course, when it comes to the minimum public shareholding, minimum public offer, when it comes to IPO. Just for the sake of clarity, could this also be taken retrospectively, where certain large issues which have come recently would want to avail a longer time to reach that minimum public shareholding mark? One. Second one, with respect to the reservation quota for life insurance companies and pension funds. In that case, what if they don't find enough life insurance companies and pension funds to subscribe? Could that be then subjectively taken care by them through other investors? And finally, sir, the last point that you've made with respect to the governance standards for market infrastructure institutions. Could this now, since it's approved, become a precursor for a lot of corporate activities which exchanges may be planning to take, like in case an IPO or something?
So the first one you said about the
6.7%.
yes,
Retrospective.
yeah, it is not a retrospect. The point is that the word right is that those who are not there, it will be applicable for everyone. Like, it is not really applicable for only those who are, new issues, because they come into the same category, but their post issue has to be counted from the date of their listing, not now. So when we say whether which category they fall, because it is the post issue market cap. So post issue market cap cannot be today's market cap. Yes, at the time of listing, post listing. The second, you had mentioned about the 40%. So if there is it can be filled up by the mutual funds.
Okay.
Yeah.
And finally, the MIIs, would this now become a precursor for
No, it isn't. No, it won't, because here also we are providing them the time. There will be a glide path, because you can't have ED suddenly, immediately. So there will be a glide path which will be given, 6 months and others. So it is going forward, we will see that it is implemented over a period of time. So, but it does not stop any corporate action.
Hi sir, Sajid here from ET Now. 2 questions on mutual fund. You've classified mutual fund as equity while you retained InvITs as hybrid. Both the category of investments or securities are normally our distribution income categories. What is the reason, why one has been classified as equity and others as a hybrid? And the second one is that you brought back from, I would say, the mutual fund the paper which in 2023 went into a back burner and took only two of it. Is it to assume that now that you've got the feedback from the industry, the other proposals will also be taken into consideration?
So I will, Amarjit will respond to your questions. I'll request him.
Yes, sir. So on the first one, see, when we consulted, we proposed equity classification for both REITs and InvITs. But we've gone by the public consultation, by the feedback that we've received. So in the first stage, we will consider only REITs as equity. And going forward, we will look at the InvIT also. We don't want to be disruptive. And also, if you look at the InvIT industry, most of the InvITs are private listed. Very few, only 4 are public listed. Also, if you look at the features of InvITs, there are relatively more stable cash flows. So they are not so close to equity as REITs could be. So these are the reasons for not considering immediately InvITs as the equity classification. And the second question...
the discussion paper which went into the back burner and now come back again.
That is still under examination. I just leave it.
So last time when you spoke about it, you said that you're seeking fresh data from the industry, and based on that you will come back with a fresh discussion paper.
Yeah.
So that discussion paper is not out, but you have taken few items from that discussion paper and it brought to the
So we are dealing with the elements which are, more acceptable, less controversial. If you remember last year, we had some pushback from the industry on some of the proposals as a result of the consultation. Then we decided we'll re-examine it, come back with a fresh consultation paper. So it's not off the table, but we are still examining.
So when is that discussion paper going to come back?
Able to give a time.
I think just in jest, I will add that we could be tempted to say that the back burner will become front runner, but we cannot use that term in SEBI, front running.
Sir, Yatin from CNBC Awaaz. Sir, question on the Jane Street matter and several hedge funds that SEBI is examining. There is also an order already. Two questions. Number one is the regulator also looking at Bombay Stock Exchange, because you have found one part to be manipulative in nature on the National Stock Exchange with respect to trading done by the hedge fund there. With respect to BSE, Sensex options and futures, is there something that you are, trying to communicate? And the other part is that if SEBI found out in its investigation that there was manipulation indeed, what is the role of the exchanges? Because if the period was so large, the exchanges have also noticed such unusual trading pattern. So is the regulator also, because there is obviously a conflict of interest, because transaction fees is one of the largest revenue stream for any exchange. They don't want any client not to trade. They want every client to trade for them to, make profit. So there is obviously a conflict of interest when you talk about, manipulation or raising alarms at their level. So the question was really, is SEBI also talking to stock exchanges because there were lapses on their part, both NSE or BSE, or, just wanted your thoughts on the entire matter.
So first of all, actually, my thoughts cannot actually go out in a press conference in relating to an investigation. That will be actually undesirable. because, there is an investigation going on the hand, and there is a SAT case on the other, and we are supposed to be replying to the SAT. So therefore, I think we should not talk in terms of these investigation cases in front of the camera.
No, sir, but if you talk about such instances, right, in general, sir, are you investigating? Because I'm talking about a specific
off the camera, my conscience doesn't allow it.
बट सर क्वेश्चन ये था कि अगर मैनिपुलेशन हो रहा है तो स्टॉक एक्सचेंजेस का ऑब्वियसली कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है, तो उसको आप किस तरीके से देखते हैं? मेरा सवाल, मैं आपको ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ आप कमेंट करिए जेन स्ट्रीट के ऊपर, बट जनरल सिनेरियो जब आपने मैनिपुलेशन पाया है आपके ऑर्डर में, ऑब्वियसली इट इज इन द पब्लिक डोमेन. आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट अ मैटर विच इज सब जुडिस, बट इन जनरल, how do we approach such situations wherein there is a conflict of interest, number one, and number two, you have investigated one exchange, one trading pattern. What about the other exchange? Is it under investigation, or would you like to talk on this matter?
That is exactly what I'm saying. I cannot reveal you the investigation, what's going on in the investigation. It is not permissible. Let the investigation be, because these are confidential matters, and then they are revealed and all that. What is being stated will be stated in the SAT in terms of whatever Jane Street had. They have every right. That time also I had said that everyone has in our democratic system, under the laws, everyone has a right for redressal, as much as regulator also has a right to reply and response. So we will stop it at that. And we will also not like to conjecture on, who is what is the thing. In general, see, if you look at the conflict of interest issue, has to be resolved through regulatory action. As a regulator, because otherwise, you could also say that SEBI also draws some of the sustenance from those trading activities in terms of certain fees which comes in. Now, then the whole structure will fall. If you say that the SEBI draws some money as fees from the filings that they do in IPO, so which means that we are clearing IPO just like that because we have to have more of fees. So you have to see, every order speaks for itself. If there is a manipulation, if there is a thing, if you look at the interim order of the WTM, it specifies all those things. So for outcome you have to see. And that outcome has to be replied to if someone doesn't have any. So what is the thing? You're saying you please reply. Then someone has to reply. So that is where it is. In between, someone says more documents and less documents. SEBI may have given all kinds of documents. So, but that we have to tell in the court. Because some of the stories which have come out also, I am sorry to say, they are not verified stories. Like they are factually incorrect stories.
सर मेरा सवाल अनुराग ईटी नाउ स्वदेश टाइम्स नेटवर्क से। सर मेरा सरल सवाल है, जो पूरा देश उसके ऊपर इंतजार कर रहा है आपके व्यू जानने के लिए। सर सर जिस तरह से आप पिछले हर कुछ दिनों में खबर आती है कि सेबी की तैयारी है लॉन्गर ड्यूरेशन की एक्सपायरी की, वीकली एक्सपायरी में कुछ हो जाएगा। कई बार जो आपके बयान होते हैं उससे भी कंफ्यूजन हो जाता है सेबी के अधिकारियों के बयानों से, और उसी को लेकर सर कई सारे लोगों के मन में जिज्ञासा है और ये जिज्ञासा बढ़ती जा रही है। तो इस पर कब विराम लगेगा, क्योंकि हर 15 दिन में ये खबर आ जाती है और बहुत लोगों की धड़कनें तेज हो जाती है, मार्केट में भी रिएक्शन हो जाता है। और सर उसी से जुड़ा हुआ सवाल, जो आप ही का सेबी का ही डेटा आया जहां पर एफएनओ में लोगों का जो नुकसान है उसमें 90% से और बढ़ोतरी हो गई, और जिन लोगों का नुकसान हुआ, आम आदमी का नुकसान हुआ, टैक्सी ड्राइवर्स का नुकसान हुआ, तो कुछ उन लोगों से हमने बात करी तो उनका भी ये कहना है कि सेबी ने जो कुछ वीकली एक्सपायरी को बंद किया, तो वो अगर हम पहले कर दिया होता तो हमारा जो सब कुछ कमाया हुआ चला गया वो नहीं जाता, और आगे चल के भी सेबी को जो बाकी वीकली एक्सपायरी है वो बंद करनी चाहिए। तो सर आपको भी सेबी के मुखिया के तौर पर लगता है क्या, जो गरीब लोग हैं, निचले तबके के लोग हैं, उनका जो नुकसान हुआ, कुछ ऐसे मापदंड होने चाहिए जिससे जो समाज का निचला वर्ग है उनको नुकसान से बचाया जा सके।
आपके सुझाव के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। लेकिन
मैंने देखा एक टैक्सी ड्राइवर था, उसने आपको बहुत धन्यवाद दिया कि वीकली एक्सपायरी को सेबी ने बंद कर दिया और वो पूरे देश भर में सर वो वीडियो वायरल हुआ और कई सारी बड़ी वेल्थ मैनेजमेंट फर्म ने आके कहा कि हम आपको लाइफ टाइम फ्री एडवाइजरी भी दे रहे हैं। तो ऐसे कई सारे किस्से सामने आए।
नहीं, मैं ये हंसने की बात नहीं है, मैं आपके सुझावों का बिल्कुल स्वागत करता हूं और एज मच एज दिस इस विषय में स्पेकुलेशन बहुत मीडिया की तरफ से भी अननेसेसरी हो रही है। एक हमने स्टेटमेंट दिया था, हम उससे क्या हम करेंगे वो भी हमने बताया था। अब यदि हम उसको डे टू डे की तरह कमेंट्री की तरह ले लें, मतलब 5 डे ले लें, फिर ODI ले लें, फिर T20 की तरह ले लें, यदि कमेंट्री ही चलती रहेगी तो वो ठीक नहीं है। क्योंकि हमने ये कहा था कि जो हम उस पे यदि हम विचार करेंगे तो विचार में समय भी लगेगा, क्योंकि कॉम्प्लेक्स इशू है, इसमें कई सारी चीजों को बैलेंस करना है। और उस इशू के बारे में हम कैसे आगे बढ़ सकते हैं यदि हम लोग अपने आप ही खुद क्लियर नहीं होंगे अभी डिफरेंट ऑप्शंस में, तो हम कैसे, हमने कहा था कि हम कंसल्टेशन पेपर लाएंगे। अब आपका कंजेक्चर ये चल रहा है कि कल कंसल्टेशन पेपर आ रहा है, आज बोर्ड में डिसीजन हो रहा है, ये सब चीजें सब अपनी तरफ से चला रहे हैं। किसी ने हमसे चेक नहीं किया कि बोर्ड में इसके बारे में डिस्कशन है कि नहीं। और वैसे भी हम रोज के रोज की में हम अपना काम करें कि हम रोज यही बताते रहें कि आज हम नहीं बता रहे हैं, कल आएगा। आपको हम बताएंगे, हम जितना सेबी ट्रांसपेरेंटली मीडिया से बात करता है या भारत की जनता से बात करता है, उससे अधिक हम क्या करेंगे। हम हर चीज डिसीजन लाने से पहले हम कंसल्टेशन पेपर लाते हैं, उसमें भी हर प्रपोजल पे हम कमेंट लेते हैं, प्रपोजल वाइज लेते हैं, उसके बाद हम उसका अध्ययन करते हैं और फिर हम अपने रेगुलेशंस लाते हैं। तो हम सब तरह के फीडबैक लेते हुए काम करते हैं, लेकिन हम रोज रोज के रूप में हम कमेंट, मीडिया के कमेंट्स को नहीं ले सकते कि आप ये कब ला रहे हैं, ये कल आने वाला है, ये परसों आने वाला है। कोई भी इसमें होगा वो हम कह चुके हैं कि वो उसके बारे में एक हम लोग लाएंगे, कंसल्टेशन करेंगे, उसके बाद उसको किस रूप में आगे बढ़ना है बढ़ेंगे, क्योंकि ये जटिल प्रश्न है। वो हमने कहा है, वो हमने कहा है।
मतलब ऐसे कल नहीं, 10 दिन बाद नहीं, बट ऐसे महीने 2 महीने में
आप कुछ दिनों के लिए हमें माफ कर दीजिए बस, जिससे कि हम उस पर कुछ मेहनत कर सकें।
Sir, good evening, sir. So, Khushbu Tiwari from Business Standard. So, just one question on the governance for MIIs. One portion in the consultation paper that had raised some concerns was reporting of EDs separately in the absence of MDs. That part I did not see in the, I think, final one, I think. So what is the stance that, like, because there were concerns about how that may create certain power centers within the MIIs. So is that being considered?
There is no such proposal that the EDs will report separately and not through MDs.
No. So there was one that the certain meetings with certain committees will be held in the absence of MDs. And only with the EDs in certain verticals.
नहीं, वो तो अभी भी है कि MPs बातें करते हैं कमेटी से।
So no, because the appointment of EDs is a new thing. That is why I'm asking.
नहीं, EDs will be reporting to MDs. We are not really saying that the EDs will not report to MDs. The command and structure of any organization will be maintained.
So they will still, because the appointments are new.
देखिए उसमें क्या है कि एक कमेटी का अलग रोल है, वहाँ रिस्क कमेटी अलग है, क्योंकि PIDs हैं, वो भी PID से होते हैं, रिस्क कमेटी अलग है, टेक्नोलॉजी कमेटी अलग है, तो उनमें वो लोग।
चलिए वक्त एक छोटे से ब्रेक का है, लेकिन खबरें अभी और भी हैं, अब देखते रहिए आवाज समाचार।